Hello and glad having you with us on Ogtv News. I am Iyabo Awojola. First, the highlights. President Buhari unveils Nigeria's digital currency e-NAIRA platform, declares 27th Economic Summit open. Governor Abeokuta inaugurates Akarigbo and paramount ruler of Remo Land as new chairman of Ogun State Obas Council. Ogun State government begins palliative works on Songo Ota, Joju Road. Sudan's top military general declares state of emergency, dissolves government. Education is both a tool of social justice as well as a fundamental driver of economic development.
And on business segment of the news, 33 banks enlisted as CBN mints 500 million naira worth of digital currency. Details when I return. My name is Adebola Oshomuji.
And coming up on sport news, Algeria squad in good condition after coup in Sudan before Nations Cup qualifier. This and more to come when I return. My name is Moses Ojerumi. Stay with us.
Now to the main news. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abeokuta has inaugurated the Akarigbo and paramount ruler of Remo Land, Oba Babatunde Adewale Ajayi, as the new chairman, Council of Obas in the state. Governor Abeokuta also urged royal fathers to continue to be embodiment of royalty and not allow themselves to be cajoled or coerced into actions that may bring the traditional institution into disrepute. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiu reports.
The State Council of Obas was established to serve as an advisory institution to the government to address some of the salient issues affecting the socio-economic development of Ogun State. Based on this premise and following the expiration of tenure of Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono next stated traditional rulers across the 20 local government areas to converge on the Obas complex in Okemoso Abeokuta as Ogun State Governor. Prince Dapo Abeokuta inaugurated the Akarigbo and paramount ruler of Remo Land, Oba Babatunde Ajayi, a professional chartered accountant, as the new chairman, Council of Obas in the Gateway State.
As an administration, today's event is very important to us, not only because of the impact to the traditional institution, but also the impact on the continued development of our dear state. That is why we have been granting necessary approval without unduly interfering in the selection processes to the appointment of new obas and other traditional titles to fill vacant stools in accordance with the chieftaincy laws of Ogun State 2006.
Governor Abeokuta assured the royal fathers that his administration will continue to hold traditional rulers in very high esteem through various viable platforms for social mobilization, community development, and effective governance at the grassroots.
This administration's commitment to the security of lives and property of the people of Ogun State. To this end, I encourage our traditional rulers to continue to collaborate with the activities of the security agencies against all threats to lives and property in your various communities.
He also appreciated traditional rulers for their overwhelming support, particularly towards mitigating the effect of COVID-19 pandemic, adding that the launching of mass vaccination campaign will soon kick off.
We will soon be launching a mass vaccination campaign and will be soliciting for your support in ensuring the successful implementation of this campaign. As an administration, we continue to accord National Council of our dear state the due attention and regard that it deserves at all times. We continue to protect the sanctity of the cultural traditional values of our people.
The State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Afolabi Afuakwe, the Chairman, the Council of Obas, Oba Babatunde Ajayi, lent their voices.
It is indeed a demonstration of excellence, respect for highly esteemed royal fathers, and indeed commitment toward ensuring that they continually contribute their invaluable quotas into policy formulation and governmental process in our district.
We should take a robust approach to helping government of the day in realizing the sole aim of government, which is the upliftment of our people.
Prince Abeokuta also used the occasion to emphasize that as the 2023 general elections draws closer, it is also important for the royal fathers to be wary of their utterances and association, but to engender themselves to the peaceful atmosphere for the successful conduct of the year 2023 general elections and the continued development of the state. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
A synergy which will sustain Ogun State socio-economically is required and should be spearheaded by a consortium of companies domiciled in the state. This was the opinion of a cross-section of stakeholders in the Ogun State economy in response to the charge of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on the need for state governments to become self-sustaining. Fowora Adisonwo reports.
Every day counts. There is a stiff competition. The expectations of the people remain on the high side. As democracy is not a tea party, every nook and cranny is striving for developmental projects, and the resources are never enough. Recently, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, challenged the state government to think out of the box.
It's a welcome development because this will hasten the infrastructural development of both the states and the local government.
A situation where the federating state go cap in hand to the federal every month to collect their revenue should be abolished.
Judging by CBN report, the Naira currently in circulation stands at 2.84 trillion Naira, an indication that there are too much money chasing few goods.
The creation of most of these states, we do not look at will they be able to finance themselves. Of the 36 states in Nigeria now, only 10 or 11 are profitable. Others have to live on the federal government covers.
Agro-allied industries are struggling to survive. Infrastructures are in the state of disrepair. Every space in the classroom of primary, post-primary, and tertiary institutions is booked. Price of gas and energy is out of reach. There is a need to salvage the economy, and charity begins at home. Tax net has to be expanded, and nobody must be a sacred cow.
You just see that most of the companies that are supposed to be the bedrock origins of our money are going out. Are you getting it? So the tax machinery in the states, well, needs to be overhauled. It's never good enough.
We are not yet there. When we talk about building up or increasing revenue, it has to be the collective population, everybody in the economy. But you will find out that the larger percentage of what we are collecting now as revenue is from pay as you earn. That is payee from salaries and whatever.
If the government will have to meet the ever-growing expectations of its highly sophisticated society.
For instance, in the United States, the state of California is one of the largest economies in the world. Yet, it is one of the federating states in the United States of America. This is because the states are allowed to control their resources while they pay taxes to the federal government.
From Agbara to Ibiade, from Abigi to Abeokuta, from Iwoye Ketu to Gbamugbamu and Odeda, a number of people have never known where or how or when to pay their taxes.
Nobody is asking for money. I didn't pay no one. But no one came to me to ask me to pay for money. Right now, our revenue collection, about 60%, 65% is coming from the pay as you earn. But the economy itself, at the GDP, you see a larger percentage in the informal sector. And the question then is, how can we really bring the informal sector into the tax net?
A local project is enough to make Ogun State a nation. At Abeokuta project, we have a refinery there. We have fertilizer processing soon. We have an export zone. And when you have petroleum in a particular environment, other 10 industries must develop from there.
Like Okoro, a number of people are appreciative of the efforts of government of Ogun State in developmental projects. According to Dr. Mukaila Olumuyiwa, people will be ready to pay if there are infrastructural developments, adding that the way to go is private sector participation.
Let somebody come and do the Ibadan road and put the toll gates and collect the money to save the life. People will be ready to pay.
You see, what has been neglected for years, it will take time before you will see the results. In another 1 year, I want to assure you that you will see the result of the planning, the execution, steady execution of President Abeokuta administration on roads infrastructure.
The chairman of Ogun State Internal Revenue Service agrees that there is a lot of benefit in tax payment.
We are doing quite a lot through a lot of the various associations. We are working with the Transport Union. We are working with the market associations. We are using this platform of these associations to be able to reach out to members of those associations to be able to really get them into paying their taxes in form of direct assessment.
Ogun State hasn't seen anything yet in terms of influx of people if it does not diminish in the provision of dividends of democracy to its people, as seen in the infrastructural development in major townships, particularly in Abeokuta, Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, Ilaro, and the rest of them.
This administration is working on over 50 roads throughout the nooks and crannies of Ogun State.
No doubt, all hands must be on deck, and Ogun State will be better for it. Adefowora Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Abeokuta District, and the Society of Women in Taxation, Ogun State chapters have installed the 8th chairman and the 3rd coordination of the associations. The event was another step by the association in their quest to reach new level of practice and administration. Ayodeji Oluwumi was present at the investiture ceremony. His report.
Erigbemi Shorunke was installed the 8th chairman of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Abeokuta District. In the same vein, Oluyomi Daudu was also sworn in as the 3rd coordinator of the Society of Women in Taxation. In their acceptance speeches, the duo pledged their allegiance to discharge the mandate given them by the associations.
The oil money is drying. We need an alternative, sustainable revenue generation method, and it can be found in taxation.
Tax campaign and seminars to educate people, the public, about what tax is meant for, and their responsibility to the state government and national government at large.
In their goodwill messages, well-wishers congratulate the duo on their investiture.
Installation is service, call to service, and as a result, I asked them to offer their all because service is the hallmark of humanity. So, is somebody with a great sense of belonging in whatever he believes in, he will show commitment.
And I am very sure that we'll be able to do the work very well, because he's a very humble man, and it takes to any advice that you have given.
High point of the occasion was the cutting of the investiture cake as well as presentation of awards. Ayodeji Oluwumi, Ogtv News.
Residents of Songwater and its environs have commended the government of Ogun State for its intervention on the failed portions of Songwater, Joju Road. According to them, lack of maintenance, absence of narrow or blocked drainages are some of the challenges facing road infrastructure in the area. Fowora Adesanwo reports.
Before the major reconstruction by the construction giant Julius Berger, Ogun State government is hitting the ground running.
And we are trying to do palliative, to apply boulders, stone base, hardcore, to make sure that the road is motorable. Reference to the governor directive.
And we are covering from the end of that flyover, that's a bridge to Singer. Yeah.
The palliative is seen by residents as responsive and responsible, but as Oliver twists, the people still want more.
So I wonder that, do we see how the FEMA existing in this Ogun State? Do you understand? So I expect them to be in charge of this. I think they are maintaining this road. It won't get to this particular stage.
If they want to reconstruct it again, they have to open up the drainage rather than before. Because the road, the drainage is very narrow. So if they cannot channel the water to appropriate channel, everything will still go down as usual. So they have to open up the channel very wide enough and channel the water in that direction.
And the palliative is good.
The major road, the interlinks, should be developed for easy access for people to come in and go out.
Honorable Yusuf appeals to the people of the area to show more understanding, as many factors are responsible for the present state of the road in the area.
I want to appeal to our people. We should appreciate that at least the government of the state have come to our aid now. So pending the time, the federal government will come to do the real construction of the old road. So I want to appeal to them to please relax.
Most of our respondents believe all property owners in the area should provide standard drainage system to save existing infrastructure and their properties. Adefowura Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development will on Wednesday, 27th October 2021, celebrate the convocation and matriculation ceremony of year 2020-2021 batch A and B trainees of its Women Development Center, Abeokuta. A statement by the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Melucia Ogunremi, indicates that the event will be chaired by the Honorable Commissioner, Mrs. Fumilayo Ifuakwe, and will hold at the Women Development Center, Okilewo, Abeokuta, beginning from 10 in the morning. The statement also added that the graduates of fashion designing, catering and decoration, hairdressing, makeup and gele tying are expected to be seated by 9 in the morning with one relative each. The 5-man Ogun State All Progressives Congress Appeal Committee, chaired by Honorable Patrick Obahiagbon, has arrived in Abeokuta, the state capital, in preparation to receive and treat petitions from aggrieved members of the party over the state congress held on 16th October 2021. While briefing journalists at the APC State Secretariat located at Iyano Mortuary area of the state capital, the chairman of the appeal committee assured party members of transparency, equity, and fairness.
And the main purpose of this media briefing is to announce to all APC stakeholders in Ogun State, through you, of our arrival in Ogun State, and to state our willingness, commitment, and determination to receive, treat, and review petitions, if any, arising from the recently conducted State Congress in Ogun State.
Honorable Obahiagbon also said the committee is expected to officially commence sitting from tomorrow, 26 October 2021 at 10 in the morning at the state capital.
And recently, state congresses have been conducted at all levels of our party. It is to be noted that in all cases where the party congresses have taken place, appeal committees have been subsequently empaneled by the Caretaker Extraordinary and Convention Planning Committee of the APC, in line with our party's constitution, to review the preceding congresses with a view to ensuring justice, equity, fair play, and guaranteeing the integrity of the process in Kabudo.
While assuring utmost sense of responsibility, Honorable Abeokuta, however, seek the cooperation and understanding of parties to ensure the success of the core mandate of the committee. Improving the quality of education and increasing students' interest towards reading have been the priority of the current administration in Ogun State for educational sector to thrive. This was the submission of the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, while identifying with the pupils who participated in the 4th edition of Sixth Sense Children Reading Culture Competition held in Abeokuta. Our reporter, Adebola Oshomoji, has the details.
The 4th edition of Sixth Sense Children Reading Competition program, designed towards the orientation of school children between 5 and 15 years of age to read again, comprises competition, demonstrations, storytelling, lecture, workshop, and capped with awards. As an ambassador of the Sixth Sense initiatives, wife of Ogun State Governor Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun identified with the students and exhibited the reading habit culture among them.
The story that I want to read to you, it is called Small Rat, Squirrel, and Tortoise. And it is written by our daddy, our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. Do you know him? Do you know him? Are you sure?
While affirming the state government's effort in creating a conducive environment for school pupils, Mrs. Abiodun enjoined parents and teachers to be more proactive by inculcating the habit in their wards for better society.
The Ogun State government has been proactive in keeping children in school, and our governor, His Excellency, Prince Abiodun, has done tremendous work in recognizing and improving the work of teachers in the state, understanding that education as an important driver of development in the state. The improved funding of the Ogun State Education Intervention Fund, OGSEC, would go a long way at improving the productivity of teachers in Ogun State. Our children deserve the best education and competent and well-trained teachers.
There were goodwill messages delivered at the event.
Our dear students, tell your dear parents when they want to remove some of these institutions, like stop speaking Yoruba, or they push the first to wear all the foreign dresses. Tell them, I want to wear my natural clothes and speak Yoruba and speak very well. They're giving me a book to read, and it's about jealousy. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy.
According to the founder, Abiodun Lashile, the annual event recorded over 800 students from 100 schools, both private and public, in and outside the state.
And when you express yourself, you have ample of so many opportunities. You have so many options. And that's why I am passionate about this. I'm saying that with reading culture, let the nation try it. It will turn everything around politically, economically, socially.
This year's reading competition was tagged Reading Culture, a tool for successful learning and self-actualization among new generations. Adebola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Coming up, President Buhari unveils Nigeria's e-NAIRA platform. Details and other reports after this short break. Stay with us. Glad having you with us again. President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled the e-NAIRA Africa's first central bank digital currency. The digital currency will play a complementary role to the paper note, and President Buhari is optimistic that concerns like hyperinflation and strains on the nation's foreign reserves will be controlled.
Digital currencies can help move away more people and businesses from the informal into the formal sector, thereby creating the tax base of the country.
The CBN has given careful consideration to the entire payment and financial architecture and has designed the e-NAIRA to complement and strengthen these ecosystems and have implemented secure safeguards and policies to maintain the integrity of the financial system.
Benefits of the e-NAIRA has been identified to include low transaction fees, zero charges on wallet-to-wallet transfers, reliable transaction processing and instant settlement, as well as reduced operating costs for merchants that come in form of cash handling and payroll management. President Muhammadu Buhari has formally declared open the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja. Represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the President said the economic sustainability plan is yielding results and the federal government plans a broad-based and inclusive economic strategy for sustainable growth and development. The plan is consistent with government's aim to lift 100 million citizens out of poverty in 10 years. The 27th edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit is an assemblage of national as well as global leaders in economics and politics. It is all about rebuilding economies from the effects of COVID-19. Countries globally have their eyes fixed on the speed and also the process of recovery, and Nigeria is not left out.
Ethiopia has given the highest priority to promoting inclusive agricultural transformation by means of allocating at least 17% of its annual budget to invest in irrigation, extension services, by deploying around 60,000 extension agents, and agricultural research for improved and climate resilient crop varieties. In addition, credit facilities, subsidization of inputs such as fertilizers and improved seeds were readily available.
Let us again envisage a future with economic growth led by a thriving, innovative private sector, resulting in a diversified economy with the non-oil taxes as the major source of income, and the non-oil sector driving export expansion and accelerating the accretion to our foreign reserves.
The theme of this year's summit is securing our future, the fierce urgency of now. It is believed that at the end of the summit, policy statements will be made which government can adopt to move the nation from where it is today to where it can be. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has vowed to retake all inmates who escaped from the Nigeria Correctional Service Custodial Center, Abolongo, Oyo State, saying the federal government has enlisted the service of the Interpol to nab fleeing prisoners. A statement by the minister's media aide, Shola Fasuri, stated that Aregbesola made the promise while on an inspection visit to the facility in Oyo State. The minister assured Nigerians that President Muhammadu Buhari's regime will pursue not just those who attacked the facility, but prisoners who fled. He announced that 446 out of 907 fleeing inmates were recaptured. Regarding the damaged prison, the minister disclosed he has instructed the Comptroller General of NCOS to immediately begin the reconstruction of the damaged parts of the building. Also, the Comptroller General of NCOS, Haliru Nababa, noted that the service had successfully prevented internal jailbreaks in all its facilities so far. Chairman and Chief Executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, has charged officers and men of the agency's Strike Force Corps to be ruthless against drug barons and cartels in order to root them from their hideouts across the country. Marwa gave the charge at the Special Operations Training Graduation Ceremony for 143 officers of the Strike Force Corps at the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, Jaji, Kaduna State on Monday. The Director of Media and Advocacy, NDLEA Headquarters, Abuja, Femi Babafemi, disclosed this in a statement titled, "The Ruthless with Drug Barons, Cartels." Marwa charges NDLEA Strike Force Corps. According to the NDLEA boss, the drug scourge in Nigeria is unacceptable, with almost 15 million Nigerians abusing substances, 20% of who are addicted, which is 3 times the global average. Other top army chiefs at the ceremony included the Commander, Nigerian Army Infantry Corps, Major General Victor Ezegu, and Commandant Martins Luther Agwai, International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center, Major General Eji Fagai, among others. The Akpo Division of the Abuja High Court has acquitted ex-Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Monroe Guazo, of conferring unfair and corrupt advantage on himself. Delivering the ruling, which came by an application for a no-case submission, Justice Olukayode Adeniyi held that the law placed a duty on the prosecution to prove the essential elements of the offense to make out a prima facie case. The judge held that out of the 14-count charge, only 6 counts, counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, referred to Mr. Guazo. The court ruled regarding counts 1, 3, and 5 that the prosecution failed to prove Mr. Guazo had a private interest in any contract, agreement, or investment that emanated from SEC between 2016 and 2017. The court also held that in respect of counts 2, 4, and 6, on the allegation that the defendant conferred an unfair and corrupt advantage on himself, the prosecution witnesses admitted during cross-examination that neither the defendant nor his relatives benefited from the said contracts and awards. The prosecution witnesses also admitted that they did not investigate the procedure for award of contracts and SEC. The court, in conclusion, held that the prosecution had not made any case to warrant an invitation to the defendant to enter his defense. He was therefore discharged on all 6 counts. The new leadership of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, has been inducted and sworn into office. Led by John Ugbe, the new executive committee of BON was charged to be professional and observe the ethics of the profession at all times. They were also urged to strive to see to a logical conclusion programs and projects initiated by the immediate past executive committee of the body. The event, which took place at the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, also had in attendance Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje.
We have a vital role to play in managing all communications in the public domain in the interest of peace and national development.
The newborn chairman, John Ugbe, 14th in the history of the body, promised new measures that will take broadcasting to a new level in the country.
For training opportunities for BON members to deepen their technical knowledge and competent skills.
The new executive committee of the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON, will be in office for the next 2 years. Up next is business news with Adebola Oshomoji when we return.
Welcome to business segment of the news. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, has commended the CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, for his effort towards ensuring a more efficient payment system in the country. In his address, Mr. Emefiele announced a new financial instrument titled the 100 for 100 PPP, Policy on Production and Productivity to reduce the nation's overdependence on imports. According to the governor, the instrument will be anchored in their development finance department under its direct supervision. Meanwhile, the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has said 33 Nigerian banks have joined the e-NAIRA platform, and the Apex Bank has minted 500 million naira worth of digital currency. Emefiele said this at the ceremony to launch Nigeria's central bank digital currency on Monday at the presidential villa, noting that the platform has recorded an influx of users. He said 33 banks are fully integrated and live on the platform. 500 million has been successfully minted by the bank. 200 million naira has been issued to financial institutions. Over 2,000 customers have been onboarded, and over 120 merchants have successfully registered on the e-NAIRA platform. The CBN governor also explained that the e-NAIRA and physical naira are the same legal tender and will have the same value, which will be accepted anywhere in the country. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, has said that the future of the nation should not be compromised by the attempts to meet current needs. She added that the policy changes towards achieving the national economic growth desired by Nigerians must be sustained. The minister said that she envisioned a Nigeria where citizens live above poverty with access to education, health, and other social amenities. Mrs. Ahmed urged the private sector to show greater commitment to growing the economy and driving the overall development of the nation. She said the business sector is a key engine of growth that must play a critical role in achieving the future we envisage. To realize this future, a paradigm shift is incontrovertible. The average price paid by consumer for national household kerosene fell to 400.01 naira per litre this week. This represents a 7.9% decline when compared to 434.39 naira per litre recorded in September ending of this year. Similarly, prices paid by consumers per litre of automotive gas oil diesel fell by 0.16% this week to 254.21 naira from 254.64 naira as of September ending 2021, according to data from Global Petrol Price.com. As of this week, the price per gallon of kerosene stood at 1,514.20 naira, while price per gallon of diesel stood at 962.29 naira. When compared to data from National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, NKH and diesel watch for September, prices paid per gallon of NKH fell by 1.73%. The Director General, National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, Aminu Jelani, has said that providing charging stations for electric vehicles is not the business of the federal government alone, but a collaboration between the government and the private sector. Jelani said effective supply of charging infrastructure for electric vehicles is a necessary support for their development and also an important strategic measure to promote energy consumption, revolution, and green development, and cannot be left in the hands of the government alone. Jelani was speaking during the NADDC organized seminar workshop on electric vehicles and solar-powered traction in Nigeria, prospects and challenges in Abuja. And that was business news. Back to Iyabo.